Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Judah Luz. I didn't plan out what I was gonna talk about in this video, so maybe I'll just call it a vlog. Well, lately I've been reading about the newspaper, so I came across some articles in the newspaper. Some of them related to a couple of them related to violence against women. Some of the articles were guys bashing up the wives and killing them. I think, and the one who gets severely blamed for everything is the husband or the males involved or some boyfriends. So a couple of them were charged for causing the problems and killing the woman right on the spot. So it's causing a lot of havoc and all this type of stuff. So um, yeah, it's a tough situation too. Some of these guys too, they're actually suspicious of those types of women having affairs with other men. And then they get angry out of jealousy and heartbreak. They get really upset and then they end up killing the woman. So that's a really tough one. Eh? I don't know what's gonna happen next. Well, I don't, I'm not sure. Like, I kind of in a way it's kind of you gotta feel for the guys too because they may be suffering emotionally. That's why they release all their temper on the woman that cheated on them. They must be suspicious that their partners must be cheating on them. So yeah, that's why they tend to violence. So they're killing them and everything. Uh, like a lot of times many men, especially husbands or boyfriends, they get really heartbroken when their spouses cheat on them. So it's a tough issue here because the guys are getting sentenced to a long term in prison because of murder. And then, like, when they bring all the evidence to the police, they have two of the families involved. The spouses, the deceased families, relatives, and other on the other side, it's the husband who's accused of committing the crime. So it's a tough one here because if you look at it, you don't. There's no evidence. Like there's evidence there, but it's not justifiable or believable because you can't really tell who's at fault here, whether it's the husband or the wife's fault. Because witnesses will give you different accounts of their stories, and from those information, the police will be trying to work out what type of evidence was there and who's at fault here. Is it the husband or is it the deceased? Because all sorts of issues lead up, and sometimes things happen which makes the husband heartbroken and he can react like that. And plenty of people are going to blame the husband's part. Who's really at fault here? Maybe the wife or the spouse was cheating and not being loyal, which causes anger towards the husband. I mean, anger building up in the husband. So, yeah, there's a lot of violence against women these days. Some men, and men are normally blamed for this, but sometimes all sorts of issues, family problems occur in relationships. So that's what happens. Yeah, these articles, I've been coming across a lot of articles over. There was some husbands are really hating out there, and some men are really hating when boyfriends are really hating when they're in relationships and they are not expecting what they want to expect. So it's a tough one here. And obviously, when violence is occurred against and the female is deceased, is the deceased victim here, all the blame goes back on the man. Yeah, relationships are hard and they're really painful too. That's why I've considered I don't want to get involved in this type of things because it's not good. It's not good. I went through my fair share of pain already, so I reading these articles in the newspaper and on the internet about hubbies bashing up the um, wives or husbands bashing up the man. This is so disappointing. Um, Maybe I'll call the title of this video "Violence Against Women." But if you look at it, I'm not really on the woman's side too, because some women, yeah, okay, they might be telling the truth, but some they might be giving false evidence, blaming the man for everything when the man has his own side of the story as well. The guy might have his own side of the story, and the female too might have her own side of the story. So it's really difficult to tell who's really at fault here. But normally, what society and the police and the public believe is they lean more towards the female side of the story because she's the one that's suffered in the incident. So all the weight goes on there. And normally they talk to the husband and said, you shouldn't have reacted like that. And I feel sorry for the husband. Maybe he shouldn't have acted like that. But when a woman does something behind your back, it can be very, very painful. Now, this is coming from a man's perspective. I'm a guy, so I can tell how angry guys are, how upset guys feel towards this. So, mm, I've been reading the articles and coming across them. It's been interesting too. I enjoy reading these type of articles and finding out what's been the issue here. Mm, I'm not sure what it's like in other countries, but in PNG, these are the type of articles that you'll be reading on the newspaper. So that's what happens. I'll be talking about all kinds of stuff, but if I can come across articles or stuff in the read that I read on then I will share it on this YouTube channel. Anyway, so there's a lot of violence being happening towards women lately. And women, one thing about them is this generation of women coming up. Some of them are not very, very loyal. So, I mean, some are, not all of them are bad. Like, maybe sisters aren't as bad as romantic partners. Um, sisters might be okay, but romantic partners, if someone you wanna pursue on a romantic um, pursuit, sometimes you wanna you get into a relationship. Sometimes it may not be the good option because look, it's gonna cost you a lot of money, a lot of stress, and all that. And this ends up to why some husbands like this in the newspaper, they end up, boyfriends, they end up killing their girlfriends and wives out of jealousy, heartbreak, and anger. They're just really frustrated and angry and hate. When women do heartbreaking things to it hurts the man more because he's worked hard to get to where he was in life. And when women do this, it shows that they lack respect, and that's why some guys end up murdering them. And come across these articles of men killing their wives or girlfriends. Yeah, that's what happens. So anyway, I'm coming to the end of my video now. So maybe I don't know, put this as a vlog or violence against women. I'll see what I'll type. Anyway, thank you and see you in my next video. Goodbye.